Good afternoon, fellow golfers. My name is Jody F. Dean. I'm the Class A PGA professional here at Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course. I'm also the teaching professional. I've been giving lessons here probably for the past 10 years, giving thousands of lessons. I thought maybe what I might need to start doing to help the students out and anybody else that's hoping to get into golf, to start a series of YouTube type lessons that I can send to you so y'all can have a visual reference of what's going on. Here at Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course, we're not a long little course. It's not but about 6,400 yards from the tips, but it is a very playable course and a very enjoyable course. Here at the driving range, we probably have one of the best driving ranges in Goldsboro and Wayne County for sure. It is a very large area, a lot of teeing areas or hitting spots from natural grass. We also have mats to hit from if needed. We have a sand trap over here at the practice green also, which is Champion Bermuda on the practice green or on the chipping green. The golf course, of course, is 419 Bermuda in the fairways, and we do have bent grass greens. But what we're going to do to start with, I believe, is just kind of go through a little series of things with you to hope to introduce you into the game of golf to where you can have much more enjoyment. The first thing I want to talk about is probably the grip. Now, when we talk about pre-shot fundamentals in the golf swing, basically the grip is the absolute most important pre-shot or pre-swing fundamental. There are not but three types of grip that are pretty much acceptable in the game of golf. They are, if we can see it, is pretty much what's called a 10-finger grip, or used to be called a baseball grip. This is where all the fingers of the left hand are on the club and all the fingers of the right hand are on the club, but if you notice, there is no visible space between the two hands. The hands must work together as a unit at all times. The other acceptable grip is called an interlocking grip, similar to the 10-finger grip, or as the old days the baseball grip, and that now what we are doing is we are interlocking the little finger of the right hand and the first finger or index finger of the left hand together. They join together also as a unit. If you notice also, this grip position here and down also, no visible space between the hands. The hands have to work together as a unit in the golf swing. There is no acceptable way other than that. The other acceptable grip in the golf swing is basically called the Varden grip or the overlapping grip. Now, the only difference between this, similar to the 10-finger grip where all the fingers of the left hand are on the club, all the fingers of the right hand are on the club, the only difference now is that the little finger of the right hand overlaps the index finger of the left hand. Notice in this position here, okay? Also down, no visible gap between the hands. The hands have to work together as a unit at all times during the golf swing. Nothing else is acceptable. Now, when we're talking about the grip, we also want to make sure to realize that when we hold the grip in the hands, the left hand is the dominant factor in the grip. Golf is a left-handed game for right-handed people, no matter what people are trying to tell you. What we always want to do is hold the club in the left hand in what's called a neutral or a natural hanging position. Everybody, when they stand erect with their arms loosely hung down by their side, everybody's hands tend to pronate to the center of their body. Pronation is nothing more than a medical term for the hands rotated toward the center. Albeit there are some people whose hands stick straight out or the thumbs stick straight out away from the body. Now, when we hold the club in our left hand, of course the leading edge of the club is always the very bottom edge of the club. This is what we want pointing toward the target. When we hold the club in our left hand, we want to hold it in what's called a natural hanging position, which means the left hand, when it goes on the club, is going to be held not with the thumb on top of the shaft or in line with the leading edge, but slightly pronated the whole hand, not just the thumb, but the whole hand is slightly pronated to the right. You should, in this position here, with the leading edge of the club, which is the lower edge, pointing directly to the target, you should be able to see two knuckles of the back of the left hand and the V that's formed between the thumb and the forefinger of the left hand pointing to your right shoulder. Okay, now, also, where do we hold it in the left hand? That's a very key position also. Everybody's hand, at the base of the little finger, and the meaty pad of the left hand, there's a little pocket that forms right in here. The grip will go right in this pocket and run diagonally across to the joint, or the second joint of the first finger. Always held It's never held horizontally in the hand. It's always slightly diagonally in the left hand, with it being held properly. Now the right hand position, very key position also in the golf swing. We want to make sure to hold it in the fingers of the right hand. So whether we use a 10-finger grip, an interlocking grip, or an overlapping grip, it makes no difference. When you put your right hand on the club, we always want to hold it in the second joint of the right hand. Now there's reasoning for the madness. One of the reasons most right-handed people are right side dominant, which means your right hand is always a lot stronger than your left hand. Okay, that being the case, we got it in the palm of the left hand, which will tend to strengthen this side. We put it in the fingers of the right hand, which will tend to slightly weaken this side, in which it'll probably, or not probably, what it does, it makes the muscles equal out a little bit better into the golf swing, because golf is an equal and bilateral muscle movement game. Both sides have to work equally together to do a correct swing. One cannot overtake the other. Now, when we have a correct grip, it makes no difference whether it's a 10-finger, it's still going to be in the fingers. It makes no difference if it's an interlocking, it's still going to be in the fingers. It makes no difference if it's an overlapping, it's still going to be in the fingers of that right hand. Never forget that. Another very key to the golf grip is when you put your right hand on the club. Everybody, if you've played tennis before, if you hold a tennis racket in your hand, you're going to notice how your palm of your hand, that right hand if you're right-handed or left hand if you play left-handed tennis, the palm is always directly in line with the face of the racket. Let's make double dog sure that we do this also with a golf grip. When we put our right hand on the club, it's always, if you notice, if I take my hand off the club, look how my palm is directly in line with the face of the club. That's what I'm looking for at all times. That's very important in the golf swing. Okay? Now, you may ask, what is the perfect grip? There is no such thing as a perfect grip. The perfect grip, whether you're going to be a little more closed face with the left hand rotated a little more toward the center of your body, whether you're going to be a little more open face with the left hand rotated more away from your body, it's really kind of arbitrary. This works into the preferences in golf. The perfect grip is what helps you hit the ball the straightest, the most consistent. But the key to it is consistency. The grips have to be, or the hands have to be played on the club in the exact proper way every time to have any kind of hope of hitting any kind of consistent shots. Now, we're starting with the grip this time. What I'd like for all of you to do, if y'all have any suggestions on YouTube, any suggestions of how I can make these better, or things I can do to help you out, or little subjects you want to talk about, we'll be glad to do it. This time is going to be on the grip. Next time is going to be on the setup. We'll always refer back a little bit to each one and go back over the grip just a little bit next time before we go into the setup, to where we can have a little bit of a building block and getting you into a correct swing, a swing that you can come out here and have fun with and enjoy playing golf.